Good morning. Good morning. I can give just a couple seconds for a couple people to get on here, so I'm not talking to the air. Not that I can't talk to the air, because I can talk to the air just as good as I can talk to 50 people. But I definitely want to, hey, morning, Brad. I definitely just want to give a couple moments to get a couple people on here, because today we're going to be talking about sex, finances, and joy. And it's definitely, I think, as the cars go by and my dog chases a rabbit, I hear the fence next door clinging too, which means that one of my kids is probably popping in here real soon. But welcome to my crazy world, huh? Right? Hey, good morning, Brad. Good morning. So this morning I was actually doing my laundry because I took the weekend off, which I never do. But I took the weekend off. Hold on, let me kick a kid out of here. People calling me. So just didn't even get caught up on my house stuff. And normally on my weekends is my time to kind of just mosey through my stuff and make sure that my life is a little bit organized going into the next week, because things can get crazy, as I know everybody is familiar with in their own lives. But this morning while I was sitting there just folding my laundry and doing, that kind of boring stuff, very non-turn-on stuff, I was thinking about different things about, like, what is it that I should share this morning around the topic of manifesting, of course, right? Calling in the abundance, the love, the joy, the feel good that we want into our life, and of course the finances. And a lot of times people come to me and they're like, hey, Kendal, my sex life sucks, and can you fix my partner, can you fix me, all this kind of stuff. And there's really no fixing that needs to happen. It's more of a different view that you have to take on stuff. So, any of you guys out there that think that your ladies need to be fixed because you're not having enough sex in your life, well, I'm going to just address that just a little bit. I'm not going to give you the big in-depth version of anything, but I am going to address a little bit. So, typical areas where we slack, where we don't have it showing up is the way we want it, right? Is typically our sex life, our finances, and our overall just happiness or joy in life. And I was sitting there, I was folding my laundry, and I was just happy folding my laundry. And I went, why am I happy folding my laundry right now? Which led to, here we are, Conscious Coffee. Hey, morning, David. Morning, Addison. And the real true reason as to why we slack in anything, but especially around these particular areas, and it's very, very simple. You're going to be like, that's it. That's her great, teaching moment today. Yep, this is my great teaching moment of today. You're not embodying yourself. Okay, pretty simple. You're disconnected. You're completely disconnected from who you are. You are basically a walking head that is thinking about everything instead of feeling things. It is really, really important if you want to have a turned-on sex life, if you want to have a turned-on financial life, if you want to have a turned-on life full of joy and well-being, you have to stop being a bobblehead. This is like, you have to stop being this bobblehead, this person that thinks about everything and is not being soul-led at all. And I know that a lot of times I hear people go, oh, that you can't just live soul-led. You can't just live according to, the feelings. Matter of fact, I used to, an old boyfriend of mine that I dated years back, he used to get so frustrated with me. He would grab my hands and he'd be like, Kendal, you can't just make these decisions based on how you feel about it. You need to think it through. Now, granted, there is great power in pausing and looking at everything from different angles and thinking it through. And I'm not saying to make hasty decisions, because feeling into something does not mean that you're making a hasty decision. Okay? And we're not talking about just feeling like, oh, I should do that, so I'm going to do that. No. If you got the I should do it feeling coming in, that's probably not a good thing to go ahead and move forward into. What I'm talking about is when you really feel called. I mean, I go through this every now and then when I'm talking about, are you called towards it, or are you being pushed towards it? Okay, are you pushing yourself into it, or are you calling towards it? My dogs are I'm gonna have to beat their butts. Hey, come here. Come here. You're stirring up a bunch of noise. So, if you were being called to something, they're going to just go. All right, I'm going to move inside because my dogs are being assholes. No, you don't get to come in. Okay. Just be over here. That way at least it's a little bit muted. A little bit muted. Lighting changed just a little bit. It'll be quieter. Probably better internet in here too. Okay, so where was I? Hey, morning, Tom. So I had this boyfriend, and he would just get so frustrated with me about feeling into things. And I would tell him, I'm like, that just does not feel right to me. There's something off about it. Morning, Scott. And he would get just like, you can't do this. You need to think it through. You need to think it through. Use your head. Stop relying on your intuition. He's like, your intuition is going to misguide you. And you know what? If you're really tapped into being soul led, if you're really tapped into your intuition, that feeling, so you're not just this bobblehead person that's thinking about everything and over analyzing it, and when you really get pulled towards something, you pay attention to that pull and you stop trying to push yourself to do the things that just do not feel right to your system, all of a sudden everything starts to break free. Everything gets into this much better space of being, and magic starts to happen. So the thing that really holds us back in our sex, in our finances, and in our overall happiness is the fact that we tend to just not embody ourselves. We don't embody ourselves. So we do not pay attention to those subtle little messages, to the feeling, the pull towards something. And if you think about it, what's the number one issue that we have, especially like in our sex? And yesterday I was talking about that feeling of need. So when we get into this, desperation energy, well, desperation energy says that we're overthinking something, that we are really, really overthinking it. We're caught up into our heads and we start to overthink it. And then all of a sudden that makes us feel bad. So then we start to make decisions based on this bad feeling that we're having because we have been overthinking it. If you actually tap in and you go underneath that bad feeling and out of the mind, and you start to tap into the intuition, the heart, the soul, whatever, every different verbiage depending on who you are there. What you're going to find is that sometimes you can overthink something that is good to the point of making it turn sour, making it turn bad, and then you get into doubt, questioning, which makes you overthink it even more. And we do this big time in our sex. I can tell you one of the things that I work with, especially women have a big issue with this, is that we tend to get caught up in our heads and we can't feel into our bodies. So we can't connect at a good level with our partner. So a lot of women have trouble having orgasms, have trouble reaching orgasm, have trouble dropping down into their bodies to even be able to feel their partners and everything. Guys will have different issues in their sex now, and stamina issues, erectile dysfunction. That's a big time sign of like you're stuck in your head a lot. If you've got premature ejaculation issues going on, well, you're welcome to being stuck in your head, not embodying yourself. Ladies and gentlemen who have trouble reaching orgasm, well, guess what? That's also being stuck in your head. You're overthinking things. You're really getting stuck into these thoughts around stuff instead of feeling into your body. When we let go of the thinking and the over analyzing and the worrying, and we just get into this thing right here, the human body, and we tap into the feeling of it, and we work at opening ourselves up. Now, I'm not talking about getting even all lovey-dovey mushy here. I'm talking about just opening up and surrendering, not even to your partner, but to yourself, okay? Because it always comes back to surrendering to self, to surrendering to how you are feeling and getting right with that. So that means like speaking your authentic yes and your authentic no. Guess what happens when we actually tap into the embodiment process and feeling into our bodies and answering, speaking our truth around different things in our sex? We start to feel. And that's the first thing that you kind of sort of need if you want to have good sex, right? You need to be able to connect to self, which means connect to what is going on inside your body, to the feelings. And you're never going to be able to connect if you're analyzing everything. If you're looking for the goal to be created, you're, again, like I talked about yesterday, in that need mode. So you're going, where is the orgasm? Where is the orgasm? Where is the good sex? Why am I not feeling my partner? Why am I not feeling this? Why am I not, doing this? And you start to overanalyze and you get into that desperation because you're looking at what is not happening instead of embodying yourself to allow it to happen and to just feel in. We do that in our sex. Both sexes do that. And then we also do it in our finances. And that is, that other area where we just go, well, where is the money? Where is the money? Why isn't it showing up? Where is the opportunity? I've done all this work. I'm working my butt off. Where's the money? Where's the money? And what are we focusing in on? We're focusing in on the not having. We're not embodying ourselves financially or sexually or in the joy category. And people can put on, a great smile. They can put on all this different kind of stuff. But if you're not really truly happy at your core, at your soul level, then that just is going to kind of come through because you're just going to be a little bit diluted in your energy. It's not going to be that powerful. Well, that's the same case, joy, finances, sex. And we could add in 100 other subject areas of our life. These just happen to be 3 very primary subject levels that the majority of people have some issue with, want improvement on, need to expand on, and definitely want to enjoy those things, right? Because what? We want a good sex life, we want a good financial life, and of course we all want to be happy, feel joyous, feel positive, right? Because it just doesn't feel good to not be happy. But we focus in on, where's my happiness? Where's my happiness? Where's my happiness? Oh, if this happened, then I would be happy. When this happens, then I will be happy. When this happens, then I'll feel more complete. When this happens, then I'll feel connection. When this happens, then I'll feel... If you're waiting for something to occur to achieve the feeling that you're wanting, then you are in that desperation energy. You are in the not having of it, and you are manifesting more of the not having of it because you're operating up here in your headspace instead of the embodiment of your body, which means the feeling, the tapping into, the knowing what is happening inside and being able to read the wisdom that your body is trying to share with you, because your body is going to tell you, hey, this isn't right. That's not right. For example, this morning I woke up and I had slept wrong or something, and my along my spine was this little spot. Oh man, it was so sore, and my last 2 fingers here were numb when I woke up, and it took me about an hour and a half to get the feeling back in. I was doing yoga and everything, trying to stretch and open up my body, and spine twists and everything, and I finally got it to release so that all the numbness that was on this side of my arm and these 2 fingers went away. Well, funny enough, I also made love this morning, and I had a ridiculous time trying to get into that moment. It was just, I could not feel. Now, I was out of physical alignment. But what did that physical alignment do for me? It put me into my headspace. So because I was out of the physical alignment and I hadn't caught on as to what was going on, I was like, something's not right. And I spent all this time in my head, disconnected from the experience, disconnected from the lovemaking, because I was up here in my headspace trying to figure out how to solve this problem. And what I should have done, and if I had been a little bit more embodied in that moment, taken some time for self and everything to embody myself and get out of my head. But hey, I'm human, I'm work in progress just like anybody else. I instantly kicked over into this trying to find out what the problem was and trying to figure out what the solution was. And I came at it from a very mental perspective instead of from an energetic soul perspective. Because once everything started to shift for me, I instantly went, oh, I'm just like, I needed to, like, what I needed to do was I needed to stretch before having sex. That's what I needed to do. I needed to go and have some yoga time and open my body up and stretch and actually embody myself before the lovemaking happened. And the lovemaking would have been a completely different story instead of me really just chasing after this thing and going, what is wrong? What is wrong? Like, why am I having this? Because I couldn't figure it out. And I was so unpresent from my body that I did not even notice that these two fingers were numb. These two fingers in this part of, I mean, I'm serious. Like from here all the way up here, it was numb. And it was all because there was a kink next to my spine. But I was so disembodied that I didn't even feel what was going on physically with myself in that moment. And I got caught up on the problem, and I went trying to mentally fix the problem instead of coming back to body awareness. Now, that is an actual physical issue that I was going through there, okay? But we can get so caught up in our mind and in overthinking something that we miss something that is that obvious physically, okay? And that is a physical thing. Imagine how much we miss intuitional or emotionally, whichever way you want to look at that. How much are you missing from being so caught in your head versus embodied into your whole being? I mean, Liz, how much can you miss? And me, I'm doing all these practices and all this work, and I still fell down this morning and had this moment where I completely missed that I was actually physically out of alignment, and I got caught up in my head so much that I missed the physical issue that was happening when I could have just said, hey honey, I need to like stretch really quick. Let me go and get some stretches out, because if I had paid attention to my body and what my body was saying, that's exactly what I would have done. I would be like, time out. Let me go do this. Let me do a little bit of self-care here and open myself up, and so that I can connect better here, so that I can feel better here. But I missed it. And I instantly went into this program in my head, which captivated me. And I went down that rabbit hole, and I missed out on beautiful connection time. I had the physical connection time, but I did not expand that physical connection time into more heart, more soul connection time. And I definitely did not reap any physical rewards out of it as far as bliss or orgasm, because I was so damn disconnected. Well, orgasm happens in many areas of our life, right? That's that turned on state. That's that thriving state. That's that feel good state. It's not just a sexual thing. It is every area of our life. We want to be orgasmic in our life, which means following our bliss, right? Like, I love Joseph Campbell's teachings around follow your bliss, because that's really talking about living this orgasmic life, living this turned on life. You have to be embodied to do that. If you are the bobblehead that's just walking around and in your headspace only, okay, and just letting it just run amok all by itself, because that's what will happen if you allow your thoughts to just spin out of control and you go, I'm not in control of my thoughts, I have no power here, then you are taking all of your power and you're releasing it over here to this thing that will spin out of control and disconnect you from everything else. So, I just got a message. Hold on. Okay. So it really is important that you just embody yourself at that level. So I'm going to encourage you guys to, starting off, since it is Monday, what better time to pause for a moment and enter this week with the question of, where am I not embodying myself? What are some of the things that I could do to allow myself to pay more attention to the things that I'm feeling in my body? You know, and it can come down to the physical, like physical actions. If you're working at a desk, if you're sitting down a lot, if you're, drive a lot or something, how can you get up and like connect to your body? Like, take 5 minutes a day to do some walking around, like just walk around your office building, go out, and not listening to music and not surfing around on Facebook on your phone at that time, or texting or anything. Leave everything alone and just spend the time to get familiar with your body. Take just 5 minutes today to just get a present with your body, whether that is doing a walking presence exercise, or you kick back and you take your hand and you put it on your heart and your other hand and you put it right at your pelvic bone and you just breathe into your body a few times and you just go, where am I holding tension? What am I feeling in my gut? What am I feeling in my chest right now? Where am I feeling blocked up? Where am I feeling disconnected? And then doing just some inquiry. Let my body speak to me. That's all you have to do is say, all right, so if you're feeling some like tightness in your chest or something, then just pause for a moment, close your eyes and go, what right here? What are you trying to say to me? And then shut the fuck up and let your body talk to you, because it might come up with a vision. It may come up with a song lyric. It might come up with some emotion. All of a sudden you might go, frack, I feel like crying all of a sudden. What is that? Well, you're holding emotion in your body. And when you're holding that emotion in your body, whatever that emotion might be, I use tears there. It could be anger. It could be sadness. It could be emotion that you don't fully understand. You don't have to ever fully understand it. What you do need to do is honor it and let it go. And when you honor it and you let it go, guess what? You start to connect, because that, much like these fingers being numb today and this part of my hand being numb, something was pinched by my spine, right? So that was pinched, and this is the exact same thing. When we hold this in our body, we pinch our energy off and it disconnects us, because our bodies are trying to communicate. They pick up on things far sooner than what the rational mind does, okay? And once the rational mind gets a hold of it, it spins out of control and it goes down this path and it does all this different stuff. Well, you want to actually know what's going on and what the right path for you is, and being able to connect in your sex and being able to connect to your relationship with money better, your relationship with joy better. You have to be able to read what your body is actually saying to you prior to it getting caught up in the logical mind of thinking. So you got to remove those little kinks. Just take 5 minutes a day, 5 minutes today. I'm telling you, just 5 minutes. And allow yourself to connect to your body and just do that much of an embodiment practice, whether it is breathing or it is just doing some self-eye gazing, where you stand in front of a mirror and you just connect with yourself and you just gaze in and you just say, what are the messages that I need to tell myself, that I need to hear from myself right now? Or maybe it is just sitting still and just allowing yourself to just journal and just to write out random stuff. Don't try to have a goal about it. See what rises up from the depths of your being that needs to be expressed and heard and felt. Because those things, those are those little tweaks, much like this right here, that just need to be stretched out, just needed to be opened up so that I could feel. And we all do this. We all miss those little tweaks. And over years and years and years, those little tweaks, those little things that get built up there and prevent us from feeling, well, before we know it, we've built some mighty big armor around ourselves, and we no longer can feel and tap into who we really are. And that causes this slacking in our sex, in our finances, in our joy, and in any subject of our life. It disconnects us, and that's where the slackings come in. So slow down, pay attention to the body, create some stillness, create some silence in your life, and connect to the most important person in your life, which is you. So, okay. On that note, 2 things. Today is the day that I start Unstoppable. It's my time to fly. So all you beautiful ladies out there who follow me, today is the end of the early bird registration. At midnight tonight, full price kicks in, and it will be available to access for the rest of this week at full price. So it is going up $500 today. If you have ever wanted to work with me, you've been thinking, I wonder what it would be like to coach with Kendal. Well, here's your opportunity to get this at a really phenomenal price, to have some one-on-one coaching. You're going to have 6 one-on-one sessions with me, 12 full weeks of structured intensive coaching, all on learning how to, much like I discuss, I give you those little tidbits in Conscious Coffee. Well, I'm going to actually get in there and give you some hardcore structured foundational work, structured work on building that life that you really want. And then the final piece is, of course, we're going to be talking about sex, money, and men. So ladies, we're going to get into all the nitty gritty fun stuff as well. But over the next 12 weeks, you could really set up your 2020, 2021, 2022, the next 5-10 years of your life could be fucking phenomenal from just taking this next 12 weeks to really get some stuff integrated into your system. Shift some old programs, shift the shame, shift the guilt, let go of the things that you're holding on to, do the forgiveness work, do the self-love work, fall in love with the body that you have, no matter what that body looks like. Tap into that wellspring, that beautiful, beautiful light and power that you have within yourself, and really expand out and call in what I love to call that fuck yes life, right? Call in that fuck yes lifestyle into your world in every department. But you know what? You can sit around, you can talk about it, you can examine it, you can be like, you can be up here, you can be a bobblehead, and you can think, and go, oh, well, I'll just catch it next time she's going to do it. I may not do it again. That's how my courses run. I may, you know what? I might not do Unstoppable forever again. I may do it in 6 months. I might do it in 2 years because it is soul-led. I don't know when I'm going to do it again. So if this is something that potentially sounds like, hey, I want an opportunity to work with her, I want the one-on-one, I really want to shift my shit, and I really want my life to become unstoppable, and I want to call in the love of my life, or I want to expand on the love that I have. I want to make the financial impact in my world that I can. I know that I have so much to offer, so much to give. I know that there's these little tweaks, and I'm just not quite seeing them because I'm blind to my own fucking tweaks. Well, here you go. Here's 12 weeks that we can de-tweakify you, get you out of your head, into your body, in love with yourself, in love with your life, and really becoming unstoppable. Because, baby, you really are unstoppable, and it is your time to fly. And, you know, if you have been just going through the motions and struggling for the first part of this year, do you really want to spend the rest of this year doing the same thing? Do you want this rest of this year to be like the last year, the last 3 years, the last 5 years? Like, come on. Like, how long have you been going, oh, I know that it's a little tweak. I've been there. I've done that. I've beat my head against plenty of wall. And I can tell you what, the power of coaching is just that. You can sit around and you can spend the next year, 2 years, 5 years beating your head against that wall and questioning it, or you can get in there and you can shift it like that, because having somebody that's working with you side by side and allowing you to get those tweaks in and saying, hey beautiful, do this, hey gorgeous, do that, you're a rock star, and giving you the actual 1, 2, 3s of what to do and how to shift it. You can take something that would take you 2 years to move and you can move it in 2 days. Okay? So, your choice, of course, but Unstoppable is going live today. The first training is coming out this evening. There is going to be weekly video trainings, and then, of course, those one-on-ones that will be getting booked as well. So, if you have any questions, you can either leave it here in the comment section underneath this video, underneath this live stream, or you can private message me, email me, text me, however you would like to do. But I hope to see your beautiful butts in the workshop later today and coming in through the rest of this week. But if you want it at discount, get in there before midnight today. So, yeah, other than that, we have also, and you can find the link in the comment section for Unstoppable as well. I love that magic like that. I say, you can find the links in the comment section. Boom, boom. Awesome. It's great to have a team. So yeah, and let me see, local events, orgasm camp. So all you local ladies, female sexuality orgasm camp is coming up. It sounds a lot more risque than what it really is. We're really just talking about tapping into some of the stuff that I just talked about, talking about boundaries, talking about turn-ons. We're talking about female sexuality, you know, how women actually work, understanding women. If you are a woman that would like to know more about her sexual mind, emotions, and body, and you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, then O Camp is definitely for you. And if you are somebody who loves a woman who would like to assist her to really tap into who she is and expand her sexuality in her mind, her emotions, and her physical body as well, and just make that connection, well, guess what? The O Camp is for you. It is a co-ed workshop. You do not need a partner for this workshop. There is nothing going on where you need a partner. This is an educational workshop. So I just want to clarify that. It is rated PG-13 for language, and there is a naked model at the end of the class, but it is structured so that you can definitely get the seminar portion and then see a live demo of seeing orgasm and what it looks like. We will be touching on orgasmic meditation, some tantric practices. It's a beautiful workshop that really encompasses a whole bunch of different stuff. But there you have it. That's that with that. So it is my sexuality workshop of the year coming out. And if you think that you can get it next time, that'll be next summer. So I love you guys. As always, you can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com and make your life unstoppable. All of you. Gentlemen, there is a program coming out for you, a 12-week, very, very soon. So look for that. As always, stop existing, start living. I'll catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Bye, everybody.